He put the phone on speaker and said, "Just explain it to her slowly." That was the moment I knew the call wasn't for me. The woman on the line didn't greet me. She said my name once, like a label, then continued talking to my son. Her voice was smooth and practiced, the kind that never rushes because it never expects interruption. She talked about interest rates, safeguards, account monitoring. I stood there for a second before sitting down, unsure where I was supposed to be in my own kitchen. My son pulled the chair out for me. I didn't ask him to. He did it anyway. The phone sat flat on the table between us, screen glowing. My name was written on it, but it felt like it belonged to them now. At this stage, the woman said, and paused, as if choosing the most polite version of something permanent, "It's often better if a trusted family member handles the details." I waited. She didn't ask who I trusted. My son nodded along, elbows on the table, fingers laced. He looked focused. Responsible. The way people look when they are doing something they believe is unquestionably right. I watched his face instead of the phone. Watched how comfortable he was being spoken to as the authority. I said, quietly, "I'm right here." There was a pause this time. A small one. Thin. "Oh, of course," she said, and then, without missing her rhythm, "So what we'll do is set it up so you can oversee things moving forward." You? Not me. My son reached for a folder and pulled it closer. I recognized it immediately. The blue one with the bent corner. I bent that corner years ago in a grocery store parking lot, trying to hold papers and keys at the same time. He didn't notice the crease. He wouldn't have. He hadn't been there. "Mom," he said, still not looking at me, "this just takes pressure off you." Pressure. Another careful word. The woman asked a verification question. My son answered it correctly. No hesitation. Another question followed. He answered that too. Dates. Balances. Small details I'd lived with for decades, now traveling easily from his mouth. I felt my back straighten. "I can answer," I said. He smiled at me then. That soft warning smile. The one that says, "Please don't make this harder than it needs to be." His hand hovered near the phone, like he was ready to step in if I said the wrong thing. The woman said, "We just want to make sure everything is protected." Protected from what? She didn't explain. But the way she said it made it sound obvious. Like the risk had already been identified. I looked around my kitchen. The clock ticking steadily. The calendar on the wall with my handwriting filling every square. Doctor appointments I scheduled myself. Bills I never missed. Notes I left for myself and always understood later. Nothing in that room suggested confusion. The call went on. Decisions were summarized. Steps outlined. Timelines created. I was mentioned only as a consideration, not a participant. At the very end, after everything else was settled, the woman said, "And that's okay with you, correct?" The question felt ceremonial. Like something required, not meaningful. I didn't answer right away. Not because I was unsure. Because I was very sure. "Yes," I said finally. Not loudly. Not softly. Just flat. The relief was immediate. My son exhaled. The woman sounded satisfied. The call ended cleanly, efficiently, politely. No loose ends. The screen went dark. My son began explaining what would happen next. He used "we" a lot. He said, "for your own good" twice. He talked like this was already done, already settled, already harmless. I nodded where nodding was expected. I've learned that resistance, at my age, gets translated into something else entirely. Inside, something adjusted. Not pain exactly. More like a door quietly closing without asking if I was done with the room. They hadn't taken my money. Not yet. They hadn't taken my house. They hadn't even raised their voices. They had taken something smaller. Something easier to overlook. The assumption that I was still the final authority on my own life. I folded my hands on the table and noticed how steady they were. No shaking. No confusion. Just stillness. They already decided who I am now. And the hardest part wasn't the decision. It was how gently they made it, and how normal everyone acted afterward.